Hello everyone, I am Master Sai Sriram. Today we are going to discuss about chapter 2 in History of Class 8. What's the lesson name? That's from Trade to Territory. Hearing about these words, we come to know that from trade they are coming to have the territory. Hearing these words, we can imagine British. They came for trading and finished in territory. So, we can see the slides. Come on. Slide 1. The exploitation of Mughals. Aurangzeb was the last powerful Mughal ruler. The Mughal ruler started from 1400. There was many Mughal rulers who were powerful, demanding and cheerful. But the Aurangzeb was the last powerful Mughal ruler. He ruled over many parts of India, till northern India, western India. He came till, and finally, after his death in 1707, that was very important. The Mughal emperor was under Banda Bahadur's leadership. They fought against the British and lost the battle. So, this slowly caused the exploitation of Mughals. I think all are clear. Moving on to next slide. Entry of English East India Company. Do you heard about English East India Company? Why it is name framed? Because India is east to the British. So they named it as English East India Company. Okay? During 1600, the English East India Company came to India for purpose of trading in the city. This was the only main point for them. They were the only company in the British. They got order from the Queen Elizabeth I and they were mainly of mercantile trading company. What is mercantile? Which means they are buying goods from a country in a low price and selling to their country in a high amount of cost. This is called mercantile. So, this is the only reason why they came to India. They used a sea route to come through India, which was discovered by Vasco da Gama. You know about Vasco da Gama? He is a Portuguese explorer. He found this route in 1498. They wanted and the British wanted to trade. Everyone wanted to trade cotton, silk and spices. Spices like pepper, cardamom, clove, cinnamon. These are the spices that are found only in India. I think I came to know about this slide. Moving on to the next slide. The first company of English East India Company. Everyone has a aim that they should start their first company and has to be dated till their end. And their first ever company was started in the banks of river Hooghly. It was built in 1651. In 1651, they went to move to Bengal and they built their first ever company there. So, they need to store. Main thing is storage. They need to store. They can immediately sell to their country the next day. So, storage is important. They need to store. They had a warehouse. In that warehouse, they used to store grains which they need to export and all the items. And they had officers where officials were there. They were checking all these things. They asked some people to come near to their factory to help them in trading purposes. In 1696, they started building the fort around the settlements. They also asked the Aurangzeb a thing to order a farman and allow the company to trade without tax. You can ask me what is farman? Yes, that is the main point in this lesson. Farman is a royal order or any royal order appointed by the ruler. Okay, this was the only problem with the Britishers. They are very angry people. They will get anger soon. So, how they captured? Let's see. Moving on to the next slide. Trading into a form of battles. This topic is interesting, right? Yeah. Murshid Quli Khan was the Nawab of Bengal. Remember the name? Murshid Quli Khan. He was the ruler of Bengal. He is a great ruler and he also demanded not the British to trade freely. After rule of Murshid Quli Khan, Alivardi Khan came, and after Alivardi Khan, a great ruler called Siraj ud Dowla ruled the Bengal. He was very demanding and powerful. He went to Calcutta with an army of 30,000 people to lock the places of British and remove their skills. So British got very angry and sent soldiers from Madras to fight with Siraj ud Dowla. Moving on to the next slide. This slide is also an interesting topic. Remember this. This is the very important one. The Battle of Plassey. This is the very important part of this lesson. The Britishers were under the leadership of Robert Clive. Robert Clive is a famous ruler in the British history. So, they were under the leadership of Robert Clive. They both fought the battle at Plassey, named Plassey. So, the war was held in 1757. This war was won terribly by the British. What is the main reason? How could they win this much easily? Everyone's mind, this doubt is going on. So, there was a man called Mir Zafar who became a traitor. Traitor means he ignored and cheated Siraj ud Dowla. He was one of the commanders of Siraj ud Dowla. He was asked by the British not to fight the war. So, the British would make him the king. This made his mind so happy and did not fight the war, and Siraj ud Dowla died. And British also wanted a puppet king. Puppet? What is puppet? Puppet means they want a king who can allow them to trade freely and export it in high prices. So, this is difficult to see, means that Mir Zafar, how jealousy he was and he wanted the king. This is why British caused damage in India. Moving on to the next slide. The rule of Mir Zafar. This is the type of rule of Mir Zafar had. Mir Zafar was made the king and settled in the throne. He was very happy and demanding. He has to accept the orders and allow them to trade freely. They wanted to trade freely. That is their main focus. They did not want to rule India, only to trade freely. So, after some years, Mir Zafar also got bored and said that they are only allowing us to order their orders. But why I can't order anything on my own? And then he started protesting against the British. The British, they got angry and made Mir Zafar's son-in-law the next king, Mir Qasim. He also fought a war with them at Buxar in 1764. They made Mir Zafar the king. Mir Zafar died in 1765. This might be difficult to see, and moving on to the next slide. The British rule in India. How British ruled India. The British were not comfortable with their puppet kings, so they started ruling the country. Even the puppet kings are protesting against them, so they started ruling the country. They were demanding and powerful. The Britishers became Nabobs or Nawabs. What is that Nabobs? All may ask. Nabobs, the Britishers does not call Nawabs because they don't say that word. They called Nabobs instead. They could not get kings like Robert Clive. Robert Clive was the very great king they had in their life. So Robert Clive also got, the British administration also got doubt about Robert Clive. So he attempted a suicide in 1772. They also framed new rules like subsidiary alliance. What is that subsidiary alliance? In alliance, they framed like Nawab should not have their own army. This is quite interesting but also very demanding and very difficult to see. They should pay them 5 lakh rupees every month, which means 500,000. If anyone failed to pay the revenue, they should give half part of the territory to British. Wow, wow. This is so sad. How could they do like this? In this, the Nawab of Awadh gave away a half part to Britishers in 1801 and also Hyderabad. The revenue which was collected was paid as the money to export the trade. This is very disgusting, you know. How could they do like this? These many queries are in your mind. We can solve it. Moving to the next slide. Tipu Sultan, Tiger of Mysore. Wow, wow, what a person man he is. Everyone knows about Tipu Sultan. We can see about him detailedly. Come on. Tipu Sultan was the son of Hyder Ali. He was also a ruler who not allowed the British to export the goods. This is very wonderful, man. He came to the leadership in 1782. In 1782, Tipu Sultan came to leadership. He was a good and demanding ruler. He fought 4 battles in the years 1767 to 69, 1780 to 84, 1790 to 92 and 1799. He was defeated at the Battle of Sringapattinam in 4th May 1799. After his death, they exported pepper, cardamom and sandalwood easily to their place. In this heading, you may notice that Tiger of Mysore. How this name came to him? We can check. He was called Tiger because while he was going in the forest, he saw a tiger emerging to him. In his place we were there, what we would do? We might be so scared and we do not know what to do. But Tipu Sultan had not have a gun and berries. So he was not fear. He fought with the tiger until his friend gave him berries and shot the tiger. So he got the name Tiger of Mysore. This is very interesting. Moving on to the next slide. Come on, let's see the next slide. War with the Marathas. British does not leave anybody. They wanted to war with Marathas also. Note this point. War with the Marathas. British wanted to destroy the kingdom of Marathas. They wanted to totally destroy the kingdom of Marathas. They wanted to fight battles. They were very angry. They should always get them. And the Marathas should fight a series of wars. The first Anglo-Maratha war was in 1782. The result was not decided properly because both were fighting equally. So the second Anglo-Maratha war was in 1803 and 05, which made British conquer the parts of Orissa, present-day Odisha, and also above the banks of Yamuna, Agra and Delhi. The third Anglo-Maratha war was in 1817 to 19, made the Maratha to completely exploit. They are very demanding, no British? How could they do this cunning to our country? Moving on to the next slide. The new rule, Paramountcy. Who is this photo man? He is called Warren Hastings, the first Governor General of British in India. Warren Hastings introduced a rule called Paramountcy. This rule says that places are paramount or supreme. They should be supreme. It is very powerful than all Indian states. All Indian states is very powerful and demanding. It has its own interest in annexing. It can annex and rule over any part of the kingdom and by fighting with them. This did not go unchallenged. Nobody didn't challenge. You don't think that. Because we are Indians, we know to challenge everything. In Kittur, Rani Channamma fought against the British and she was sent into the prison in 1824 and died in 1829. She is a great freedom fighter also. Then a man called Rayana fought and hanged in by British. Rayana is a small person, a middle class boy, but he fought for us. This is very interesting, but most of them did not fought. It's like Mir Zafar, he was so jealous of the kingdom. So like this, many things happened during the British rule. We can learn later about the chapters after the new slides. Expansion to northwest. In 1930s, the British were feared about the Russians because Russians were that side coming tearing all the parts and ruling over all the country. They also wanted to rule India. That's their mindset. But British got the information and they wanted to capture the place. Sorry, that's not 1930, 1830. The fought battles against Afghan rulers. The Afghan rulers had fought battles against them and they lost the battles. During 1838 to 1842, the battles were fought. They captured Sindh in 1843. They do not only to capture Afghanistan but also Punjab. They wanted to capture where Maharaja Ranjit Singh died in 1839. He is also a very great ruler. Because of this death, this made more powerful the Britishers and they captured Punjab in 1849. Moving on to the next slide. The Doctrine of Lapse. The final annexations was under Lord Dalhousie, 1848 to 56. The Doctrine of Lapse is a law. He introduced a law called the Doctrine of Lapse. This includes that any of the kingdom which has not male heir will become the part of British, which means that any kingdom, a king does not have a son but a daughter, then he may not be able to rule the kingdom. British will be able to rule. Okay, like these 5 places were targeted by British. Satara in 1848, Sambalpur in 1850, Udaipur in 1852 and Jhansi in 1854. They also annexed Awadh in 1856. The people of Awadh protested against them hardly in 1857. They said that the Nawabs are misusing the rules of government and they should not be ruled and we wanted to rule the government. They said directly to the people. The people protested and they arrested them. This is very cunning, you know. Moving on to the next slide. Thank you for watching, guys. This is Sai Sriram and thank you for watching.